Can the car rental experience be improved at all? One mobility company is convinced that it can. With a new platform that synchronizes supplier and customer, tech startup Coastr is offering a flexible travel network built on artificial intelligence and real data, rather than another queue at another airport. Sound far-fetched? Well, the people at Coastr say it's all just round the corner. Mr. Wadgett, great to talk to you. First of all, give us an idea, your overview of the rental car market and what in your view needs to change.
Let me see where I can start. I feel the car rental sector is broken. Imagine you are an everyday traveler, you're walking out of the airport and you're in this long queue. And then you're just waiting for 60 minutes before you get to the counter. And then you are asked all this set of information that you have already provided them. You don't know what cars you're going to get. You wait nervously for that. And then finally, when you do get your keys, you also get handed a long sheet of a lot of hidden charges. So that's really what we are trying to break here. And I feel there are kind of some systemic issues in the car rental industry that we need to solve.
What you're proposing then isn't really tweaking around the edges. This is a complete overhaul.
Absolutely. So that's why we are building a connected ecosystem platform that starts to create the full stack of solution. And then each of these big problem statements we can start to address step by step. So our first step in the process is creating a SaaS platform that allows the car rental operators to become more digitized. In the process, we collect a lot of data then that starts to address the insurance needs. And finally, by working with the independent operators, the tier 2, tier 3 operators in the market, we can allow or create a platform that allows the meeting of the demand and the supply, thereby creating more choice for end customers.
Tier 2 and tier 3, that's kind of everyone else apart from the big monopolies. So what's been their reaction so far? What can you offer those?
They love the story and the vision. The product itself, the software as a service platform, that brings immense value to their business, bringing efficiency, cost savings, and also, technology-enabled innovation, which without spending a huge amount of money, they're getting at a very, good deal, right? And secondly, the kind of growth story, which we can help them become more competitive. Especially post-COVID, I think there's a big need for that as well, because a lot of them have become impacted by the kind of lockdown restrictions and their inability to really change their business model, grow their business. Coastr can really make a difference to the independent operators by providing the platform for growth.
So what's your vision of changing, modernizing the user experience?
For me personally, as a user myself, I wouldn't want to go to a car rental counter ever again in my life. So that's, first of all, a basic thing that I would expect all Coastr users to feel. They can just use the app on a day-to-day basis, offering them flexibility of choice. You want to pick up your kids from the school, you want to do a grocery shopping, or you just want to get out of the city to for a holiday destination. Everything should be in one place. In that kind of flexibility and convenience, at the same time offering a digital experience where you don't need to engage with the operator providing the vehicle, that is what we are trying to envision through the Coastr app.
Well, better management of data will put those vehicles around where you need them at the right time and the right place. Where does artificial intelligence come in then?
So for us, the AI and the data plays a huge part in being able to understand, first of all, customer preferences, being able to improve the schedule of the vehicle from an operator perspective so that it can create more transparency on what the customer wants and gets. In addition, from a digitization of the operations, the AI plays a key part in how we look at some of the connected cars data and utilize that to do things like predictive maintenance, so that it helps to save almost 30% of your repair cost, which is huge for a car rental operator.
And this is where insurance comes in, managing the fleet and managing the customer.
Absolutely, and that's kind of the huge use case of AI, because today most insurance policies are written on a very static and historical data. It doesn't really take into account any of your real-time usage data, neither for the driver, neither for the operator. And that has really caused a lot of concern for the car rental industry. Through our AI solution or on-demand usage-based insurance, we can actually help create more data and more control for the insurance policies and underwriting processes to be optimized. Also, the claims handling processes can be optimized through kind of things like damage detection, etc. And that overall will lead to a cheaper, more accessible insurance for both the operators as well as the end user.
I mean, a lot of the world's cities now, new cities and old cities, want to become so-called smart cities, where public transport is revolutionized, where electric vehicles are used much more often, where perhaps even autonomous vehicles are used instead of driven cars. Where does your vision dovetail with those ideas of the smart cities of the future?
I mean, that's exactly where we are heading, because if you think about the flexibility and the choice and the digitization, everything is part of that smart city, zero emission agenda. I mean, we are very, very adamant about pushing more greener electric vehicles, first of all, into the car rental ecosystem. So we are already working with some of the top OEMs, automobile manufacturers, to see how we can introduce more greener vehicles. Some of the data we get from connected cars allow us to understand fuel usage, etc., patterns that, again, we can reuse to understand what are the better vehicles to be utilized, and we can incentivize customers to actually do that in future. So a lot of our strategy and goals are very much aligned with smart cities. And finally, I think what I would personally like to kind of point out is being able to work with things like self-drive cars in future, and enabling that kind of service to the Coastr app to customers so that they can rent for whatever period whenever they want. I think that's kind of the power of the platform we are creating, and the vision for the future.
So the car rental industry is huge, we know that. And the automotive industry, which is hand in glove with them, is even bigger. These guys have been doing business together for decades. What have you got? What has Coastr got? A small mobility tech startup in Edinburgh. What are you bringing to the picture that can claim to be so revolutionary?
Well, I'm going to start off with the example of Jeff Bezos starting in his garage. I don't think anyone ever imagined that he could take on the big, Walmarts of the world, right? But he has done that, and Amazon has changed how retail experiences are delivered today. It's the same thing. It's about idea and execution, and that's what the Coastr team is all about. We have a strong team who are bought into this vision of really and truly revolutionizing car rentals and the mobility sector. And I think for us, when we talk about our culture, we are always talking about innovation first. How can we constantly rebuild our product? How can we find new innovative ways of changing the experience for our customers and the operators? And I feel that is what is going to spearhead and help us tackle some of these big challenges from the OEMs and the existing incumbents.
And as you move forward, the upscaling opportunities will be there. What's your vision 20 years down the line? What's your vision for the world of renting vehicles to get people around?
All right. Today, when you rent a car, you're thinking about convenience, and I don't think you are really facing or getting that experience when you're doing it. Car rentals can be a way to get to places, make your own way, get to that destination that you've always been thinking of going. Or it could be just something that is about driving a new car. So it's being able to service different needs from the same platform, but also at the same time focusing on experience and making car rental really enjoyable and truly bringing the convenience aspect, which is why car rentals exist at all. So that's the vision for Coastr.
Viswajit, thanks very much indeed. Good talking to you.
Likewise.